We are live.
We are live. We back. Are y'all back? Let me know if y'all are back. If y'all are back, then we'll be back. Because we're back. So somebody hop in the comments and let me know if you guys are back on with us. Welcome back to Office Hours. We're ready to get going here in a second. Can you hop in the Facebook group? You see anybody in the Facebook group? I see one of our guests backstage. What's good? What's good? My guy, the Gorilla CEO. I see is in
There he
place,
is.
and I believe that's Eddie with the warrants. Was good. Okay, if y'all can hear me, okay, if y'all can confirm that, we gotta pay some respects, y'all, because in case you hadn't heard. Shouts to my guy Snoop for acquiring Deahtrow Records.
He acquired Deahtrow. I didn't hear that.
Yes, sir. Last night. It just got announced.
What?
From the depths of the sea, back to the block, Snoop Doggy Dog,
get out of here.
My guy, Gorilla CEO, what's good? That's right. One time for Snoop Dogg, y'all.
So I ain't holding nothing back. And once again, I got 5 on the 20 sack. It's like that, as a matter of fact. Cause I never hesitate to put a food on his back.
Yeah, they don't know who Bob Proctor is, but we can talk about it, Jamal. You're right. Rest in peace to him. He was the last in the of that trio of Open Line, man. He's a legend, radio legend. We can talk about it. What's good, everybody? Happy Friday.
It's the bounce of the wild, creeping and crawling.
Welcome back.
In the house with the pound like every day. And I'm right back up in you with Dr. Dre. And like I said, none of y'all can.
Yeah, let's get going.
And none of y'all can.
Make sure we live in the app.
What happened?
I want to make sure we're live in the app.
Oh, yeah.
We got a lot of good stuff for y'all today, man.
We got a lot of good stuff for you. And we got one, and I'm pretty sure a second incredible guest for you. So it's a lot coming to you today. So we're excited to be back. Yep. I think I just got to confirm that our second guest can make it in. This is going to be dope. We're excited about it.
Yeah, we're live.
Hey, I'm going to put this up on. Check this out.
Mike Reynolds live in the app.
Mm-hmm. Can you see it right there on screen, Just?
Yes, sir.
One time for Snoop Dogg.
Man, that's
crazy, right?
That is huge news, man.
That's huge, y'all.
Happy Office Hours Day.
And apparently he had been dropping hints for a while that he felt like he should be the rightful owner.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting. I don't know all the details. It just got announced yesterday, but it looks like he bought it from Blackstone. Why did Blackstone own Deahtrow? That's a whole other conversation.
Are you serious?
Yeah, bro. It's a crazy story. Heck yeah, Deahtrow still exists. That catalog is crazy. Major boss move for Snoop, for sure. Yes, exactly. See, Carisha knew, right? It's Blackstone, right?
That's crazy.
Yeah. Okay, so
now how much did Snoop Dogg buy it for?
Oh man.
They didn't know how to take advantage of And that asset the way Snoop can.
Right. So yeah, man, it just came out literally, and I'm sure that a lot of it was timed to at least get announced, number one for Black History Month, right? And then two, he's performing tomorrow or Sunday.
No. Where's he performing?
It's Super Bowl.
Oh.
So they got
Oh, you mean that little thing?
This
That's
is
what he
football
doing?
game. Maybe you heard of it. It made all the papers.
Oh.
Yeah, man. So they got like this. I think it's like four of them, isn't it? I know Kendrick is the only kind of newish, new school person that's on there, but then they got Snoop and Eminem and somebody else. It's like a, I don't know, like a Mount Rushmore kind of thing that they decided to do. And
yeah, Mike's saying Suge Knight sold it to Black Knight. He's confirming it.
Oh, he is. There you go. So I'm sure they timed it so that the announcement would happen, in conjunction with Black History Month. And they knew, of course, that he was going to be doing the Super Bowl. So it's a nice relaunch of the brand. And again, I haven't seen a lot of the details. I don't think anybody knows how much either. So, undisclosed amount. So I don't know, man. I don't know how much he paid, but it's just, if nothing else, it's really symbolic for him to kind of have it back in control and artist control, and as one of the founders of it. So it's just, you love to see it. Love to see it. So we just wanted to shout him out for that. So there we go. There's the lineup. So it's Dre, Mary J, M, and Snoop. There it is.
Okay.
There it is.
There
So
you
anyway, one time for Snoop Dogg and making power moves and owning your content. So good on him. We just wanted to shout him out for that. So welcome guys to Office Hours. We are back after a little bit of some R&R last week. We're working on some projects. It really wasn't much rest or relaxation, to be honest, but but we did take last week off to work on some things, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. But we're excited to be back. So if you are new, welcome.
Mike said we need LL to take over Def Jam.
Oh, that should have happened a long time ago, bro.
They make some weird. I mean, wasn't what's his name? The songwriter. He was president for a little while of Def Jam.
Hev was president for a minute, wasn't he?
Heavy was. Then the dude that wrote Umbrella, the Ella A guy, what's his name? I can't think of his name right now. What's his name? Ella A. That guy. All right, we all know who we talking about. They made him president.
They did?
Yeah, he was president for a little while. So I feel like everybody. The Dream. I feel like everybody can be president of Def Jam.
The Dream was president of Def Jam?
Yeah, he was president for a little while.
Did not know that.
Wasn't that long, but
did not know that the Dream was president of Def Jam.
I feel like sometimes they just put presidents up there.
Yeah.
Just for name. Now, what about Jay? I thought Jay, wasn't they trying to make him president?
Well,
wasn't he president for a little while?
Jay had a role there. I'm not sure if he was president. But that didn't go well either, apparently.
Mike said LaFace made Def Jam trash.
Oh, dang. That's not good. That's not good. But yeah, man, I mean, listen, LL.
That's a strong statement.
That's a strong statement. That brand, that label was built on LL's back. So if anybody should run Def Jam, it probably should be him. But I wonder if this is going to spark a trend. And we're not going to talk about, music and publishing all show. This is a momentous event. So we wanted to give it just a little bit of airtime. But I wonder if you'll start to see more of this. Well, the legacy artists coming back and actually running the show. I
mean, we see it. We see it in the NBA, right? We see players coming back being coaches.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, I mean, if I think in this day and age, it makes sense. Like, if anybody should be running Def Jam, it should be Drake, somebody like a Drake. But he's not really associated with Def Jam. But
yeah.
But I mean, you got artists nowadays. These guys and gals. I mean, they're entrepreneurs, man. They're learning business inside and out.
100%. 100%.
And so the game, it's definitely changed. And I mean, Snoop is just showing what, how much we've grown. No longer just the artist, but now taking over the labels and owning the publishing rights. I mean, Master P started all this for real.
He really did.
I mean,
he really did. He's the one that gave everybody the game.
He gave everybody the game.
If you haven't seen it before, everybody should go and watch the interview with Snoop and Master P.
Yeah.
Because Snoop talks about, he just gives him his flowers, man. It's just a beautiful interview. He just talks about how he wasn't making no money. And even though he was this international superstar, he wasn't making no money. And Master P was like, I'm going to make you a superstar again, because they thought that he was over. And he was like, as soon as I landed, they gave me a car, a house, and something else. I don't know. He said that he just really took care of his people and showed them how to build out multiple streams.
He said those dudes, man, those New Orleans dudes really understand how to show love.
Yeah.
And he said he wasn't even getting it from his own.
That's right.
And Master P came and just resurrected resurrected everything. I mean, like, this deal would not be happening if it weren't for Master P.
Yeah, that's real. One time for Master P. Secondary impacts.
Happy Friday, Debbie Douglas.
Yeah, happy Friday. So, big deal. Another big blockbuster. It's not done yet, so that's why I didn't kind of make a big deal out of it.
I can't wait to get our guest on.
But I'm excited.
I'm sorry I cut you off. I'm just excited because he obviously stepped up his game. He stepped up his video and audio game. I'm ready.
I'm very excited to see it. But yeah, the other thing, it's not inked yet, and so we can't make too much of it. But your boy Byron Allen, I'm not sure if you saw this, on Monday or Tuesday, he announced he's going to put in a bid for the Broncos.
I saw that too, man.
If Byron Allen, if Byron Allen becomes owner, even if he's just a majority owner, it'll be the first time, bro.
That's huge.
First time in 100 years. So anyway, some good things going on in the business community. And we want to highlight all of it, shout it out, talk about how it's relevant to you. And, just give you something to aim at. So anyway, like I said, welcome back to Office Hours. We got a lot going on. I want to do this really quickly and get into the show for today because we do have a lot to cover.
We do.
You know what I wanted to do? In fact, where did our guest go? How come I don't see him anymore? Is he still there?
We could go long, guys, because we got a lot of really good news. Plus, we missed last week.
Yeah, we got a lot going on. Oh, check this out.
What's up, Sis Alicia? Look who's back. Look who's back.
So you know what I like
Friday.
To do?
Alicia, we got a lot of good stories. I hope you stick around. You say you wanted us to go 90 minutes plus.
This might be one of those days.
This might be one of those days because we got a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
we got a lot of stuff to report on.
Absolutely. So, lot to go on. So let's do this. Let's do wrap up of the welcome, and then I want to get to our first guest, and I want to get into these news stories because a lot. She's here for all of it. I love it. Welcome. If you've never been here before, you're in for a treat. I think. Anyway, I'm biased. Whatever. But I hope this won't be your last time. If it is your first time. For our regulars, thank you guys for indulging us last week, taking a week off. Thank you for coming back and rocking with us. You know what I want to do with our first guest? Let's bring him on right now because I realized that we had not, in our first couple shows of the year, awesome as they were, we had not set the stage for what people should expect in terms of the landscape for 2022. What should people like? How should they prepare to have a fantastic 2022 is what I wanted to figure out.
So we bring on the Gabillionaire.
So we brought on the Gabillionaire.
Live.
We're making up new numbers now.
Drop one of Clues bombs for Donnie Bryant, the best copywriter in the world.
World? Don't you mean the universe?
The universe. I'm sorry. At least the Milky Way. At least our galaxy. He is easily...
I just see him floating through space with a pen, writing copy on the Milky Way. Writing.
He's easily the best copywriter in the galaxy. Easily.
And Elon Musk's internet connection out there strong. You'd be surprised how far Starlink go.
Bro, see, you out there doing fun. Me out there making funnels.
You see what I'm saying?
The black hole.
Intergalactic funnel man.
Intergalactic funnel man. Copywriter extraordinaire. Donnie Bryant joins us today. We're excited to have him.
Yeah, he need to go get himself a super with a big F on his chest, like a super
man.
funnel man.
Funnel man.
Intergalactic funnel man. Turn your funnels into gabillions.
But seriously, man, like I reached out to Donnie. I was like, bro, could you maybe come on and could we spend a few minutes? Tell us, what you think this year looks like in terms of what's gonna work, what's probably not gonna work anymore, right? Yeah. What's the trend that people aren't hip to yet, like whether it's specific to email or texting or whatever marketing channel you use. And I was like, there's nobody better to talk about that than Donnie. So Donnie, welcome to the show, man.
Appreciate being with y'all. I was gonna hang out with y'all anyway, but great to have a chance to actually chop it up and hopefully drop some usable, profitable, or lucrative knowledge for the people.
And your lighting situation is lovely, sir.
Yeah, look at you.
Looks nice.
Courtesy of Walmart, you know what I mean? And I'm.
Uh-oh, did we lose his audio?
Oh, we lost the audio.
You can't do that Walmart audio. You can do Walmart for the lighting. You can't do it for the audio.
Is it working?
Audio funnel, man.
Okay, he's back.
Okay.
Let me see. Yeah, is it not working?
There you go. Yeah, we good.
Yeah, we hear you. We hear you. Perfect.
Perfect. Yeah, we hear you and see you.
So what's the good word, man? First off, I've talked to you, but how is your new year started off?
Well, listen, I'm just getting back from my 20th anniversary little trip with my wife and I. Have been married 20 years.
Wow, man! Congratulations.
So we just got back in the house. We didn't go no place. We're hanging out in the city of Chicago. We're in Chicago, yeah. So I'm feeling lovely. Feeling real good.
That's beautiful. 20 years.
20 years, bro.
Man.
I did a podcast last week and we were talking about the $100 million, which is much more accurate than gabillion.
It's not gabillion.
It's not a gabillion.
It's not gabillion.
Not quite.
Check my
but I said maybe 20 years is a greater accomplishment than $100 million in sales.
That's real.
Maybe it's arguable. When my wife is easy to be married to. It's maybe an accomplishment on her part, sticking around with me.
That's because you're a good man. That's a good man right there.
I appreciate that. So yeah, it's been a good year. I think it's a unique year in terms of marketing, and maybe in the last, not just 2022, but the last 18 months. They've been weird, like pandemic weird, right? Everything is weird, but we're finding in tests that we're doing, people are responding a little bit differently than we're maybe used to. Things that we believe that we know, people are not necessarily acting that way anymore. So I think last year was like boom town. It was 2020. We made a lot of money. If you knew how to position yourself, you could make a lot of money because people were they didn't know how to respond. 2021, people were starting to settle back in. But I think things are changing. So one thing I'll just say, it's a good year as long as you're a trustworthy individual, because everybody knows there's a lot of scams. A lot of your people, not you guys on this call, but people that you know are running the scam. So they know there's scams out there. And so it makes sense to spend time building trust, becoming a trusted source of information, or a trustworthy individual. Because that's going to be very important. And then, which is interesting because I'm taking all day getting to this point, it's becoming more and more important for us to be very succinct, get to the point very quickly with what we're trying to say, because people are also not sitting around waiting for you to get to your point. They're not doing that. And that could be evidenced by, y'all probably talked about this. I don't remember. Yeah, we talked about this. TikTok has more traffic than Google.
That's right.
People
number one search engine. Yeah.
Like Google, you had to use your brain to use. You got to type something in and look for something. TikTok serves you up stuff. And people are trending towards very simple things, which is interesting. We'll talk about simplicity in a little bit.
Yeah. And we've seen all the articles too about Facebook, had their first down quarter.
Yeah.
That made it seem like Zuck was in there crying because they're losing out to TikTok.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I think he's doing okay.
He's gonna be okay. Yeah.
His paper wealth is burned up a little bit, but like executive bonuses are probably like high as they've been in a minute. All these C-suite people are getting huge bonuses despite everything else. So he's doing all right. But yes, though it's a good year as long as you're standing apart from the scammers, I think, and staying consistent, bringing value to people in a way that's easy to consume.
Go back to something that you said a moment ago. You said that some things are performing maybe in the last 6 or 12 or whatever the increment was that you said, but things are performing differently than you might have expected. Can you give examples?
Yeah, one of those things is if you study copywriting, you'll hear all the time long copy beats short copy. Like that, because you have more time. It's not always, because depending on what you're selling and who you're talking to about what. But in general, just like having the ability to spend more time making your point, proving your point, building up, answering objections, things like that. Very true. But in some instances, I'm talking about lead gen now. We had found that if you're just going for a lead generation, shorter copy was working better. This kind of goes against what I just said a minute ago. But we were running on a massive. We're talking about $10,000 a week we're spending on advertising, trying to pick up leads. It's a lot. It's actually probably more than that, but I'm just thinking about Google because we're in all the different channels. But so we're 5 figures a week on lead gen ad spend, and we were trending. Like I remember, because when I first started working with this client, the thing that we could not beat was like the everything above the fold, and oftentimes even shorter than that. A single headline with an opt-in box, depending on what we're giving away or trying to get people to sign up for, was unbeatable. I thought, I'm going to figure out how to beat this. But I'm not sure that I beat it because I did better. I think things are shifting. People in this case need a little bit more of the story, probably because of that trust factor. You can say a headline and okay, we all know that there's hype, and why should I believe that? So this is one, but it's happening not just at this one client. I'm seeing in many cases. So in this particular instance, like telling a story. I want to say something interesting about stories in a second too, but telling more of a story, building up a story that's but has built into it some trending topic.
Yeah.
It's so weird. People are, because they're plugged into TikTok, they're plugged into Netflix, they're plugged into whatever. So people are like, it's almost more important. Entrepreneurs may be a little bit different. So if you're going B2B, maybe the targeting has to be a little bit different. B2C, people are obsessed with these things that really don't matter that much. Do they want to learn a new lesson? Probably not. They want to hear about Snoop Dogg. Right? We want to talk about Snoop Dogg.
So Donnie, let's real quick. So just so that we understand, and everyone here is listening and understands the differences then that you're seeing, right? As you're doing this analysis for 2022, you're kind of looking at the dominance that TikTok has and what that says about the behavior of people. And you guys are now shaping your marketing around this fact.
Partially. I think
right.
TikTok is kind of like a trailing indicator in that. It's weird. It's also just symptomatic. We're finding out from the data, TikTok data, what the shift has already been happening. And actually, Justin, when you were in Chicago, Vince, you too, when we were here before, we talked about the importance of entertainment value in copy. It's becoming more and more prominent.
Right.
More and more ubiquitous, like not necessarily being funny, but there has to be, we're not able to just come out and state a fact like in a declarative way or in a matter of fact. Sometimes matter of fact is okay, but people are really looking for entertaining stories. They're looking for something to take their mind off the insanity of life. They want a little bit of an escape. So sometimes
it's funny. It's funny you say that because and that was a few years ago now that we were predicting. Like right? Like just that entertainment would be the way that you need to lead, and we even see now like this idea of edutainment as the way. Hey, so Donnie, someone in the app asked, "Is cold calling dead?" Now we're not really talking about cold calling as a channel. We're really talking about more online advertising and how you all can use online advertising, but. Could you speak just even if 30 seconds on the more traditional marketing mechanisms like cold calling versus what you're talking about? And is cold calling dead?
I think what's interesting, I don't have hard data on this. My guess would be cold calling is probably as effective or maybe better than ever. If you can get somebody's phone number and you can get them to pick up the phone, nobody else is doing it. So I think, again, I don't have hard data because I'm not doing it, but I think that it's people in that respect are not going to be that much different. Pick up a phone, but you got to grab people's attention right away. And again, not sound like a scammer. People are a little worried about that. But if you can, like the Max Maxwell tricks, go watch some of his videos. He's going to help you get into a conversation. And once you have a conversation with someone who never talks to anyone on the phone, if you're talking about what they want to know about, making an offer on their house or helping them in their situation, I bet it's at least as effective as ever. So I don't think that's going away. I don't think it ever will.
So the actionable thing for people, and we got folks obviously who are mostly real estate. Oh shucks, we got our other guests backstage. Check out that superstar back there. Check out those superstars back there. The actionable things, no matter what channel, I think I hear you saying, Donnie, get to the point. Be entertaining. It doesn't mean that you have to be telling jokes.
Or dancing.
Or dancing. We're not advising dance for your supper. That's not what we're saying.
I think that's it.
But entertainment value really matters right now. Let's get to it, right? An anecdote, right? Get good at maybe telling a short story. Have a batch of stories. Like good speakers, professional speakers, walk around with 50 stories, right?
Yeah.
50 stories and 10 jokes. Like that, right? They have a stump speech. They can get up and they know they can tell a couple of anecdotes no matter where they are. Would you advise that folks begin to take that same approach? Be ready.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got to, it's interesting. You got to do that. Celebrities also, when you see them on Fallon or whatever, I don't watch any of these shows, but you see them, that's all set up. It seems like they're able to just extemporaneously come up with these clever, funny stories and whatever.
Yeah, it's not.
No, they have these stories in their pocket. I know this is gonna work. And a lot of times it's queued up. You know what Jimmy's gonna ask you, so he'll serve it up to you nice. But everybody has stories, and you probably have them too. Just gotta think about how you can unleash them on your the people who you're trying to help, because the stories really do work. But again, it needs to be relevant. And they need to see how it's relevant pretty quickly. Or we say something that's wild. If we're talking about Snoop, people automatically just listen. But then you got to figure out how to tie it in. But yes, entertainment. And by entertainment, definitely not dancing. That will probably get some of us canceled, right?
Right.
If they see me dancing, they revoke my black card. It's nothing nice. But
so again, for folks, and most of you are in real estate, but a lot of you have other businesses. I know Sis Alicia's got 2 or 3 other businesses. And there's some folks in here who do title, who do all types of things. But short copy, experiment with that. You know, accepted wisdom, received wisdom has been for a long time that long copy works better. You're saying some of that performed a little bit differently. And maybe it is, everybody's ADHD finally kicking in thanks to TikTok. Get to the point quickly, right? Have some stories and anecdotes ready. Anything else sort of specific? Do you like email over text, over something else? Like, would you even venture to rank channels for 2022?
Yeah. I mean, email is still going to be king for you, but it's interesting because open rates, as far as I can tell, you can't trust them because of Apple's changes. We saw that, but from what I can tell, engagement is a little bit down, which I think had been trending higher despite other people saying, or people thinking it was going down. It's I believe now, though, it is trending a little bit down, and partially because I think we have to get better at getting to the point very quickly. It has to be like there has to be value there, and it could be entertainment value. It could be I'm looking for something and like relevant to where you are in your life right now. Value, not just something that's cool and interesting, but if you can bring the value, it has to be something that's relevant to me right now. If I'm thinking about I'm going to sell my house, but I know I'm not going to do it till 2023 because I got to do this, and that. If they're not thinking about that at all, it's not relevant. You had to make it relevant. But yes, email is great. Text is also becoming increasingly effective. I was trying to downplay that maybe a year and a half ago. It's like text is cool, but get them an email. Now it's like you almost have to play the text game. You almost have to. if you want to be relevant and competitive. Ranking wise, I still give email the top, but absolutely do not sleep on text. Don't do it. It's not good for you.
I love it. Donnie, I hope that you will stick around. I want to come back to some things throughout the show. I know we have some time sensitivity on this other guest. Do you have flexibility? Can you hang around with us?
I'll be here. I'm always when I'm in my office, I try to hang out. Even if I have deadlines, I'm like, I gotta be with the fellas, be with the family. So
My
I'll be here. Yeah, I'll hang out.
And even though he did not ask me to do it, I'm gonna plug Donnie real quick because you do something that I personally really like a lot. The daily subject line joint.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, if you're trying to figure out how to make what he's talking about actionable, you're like, I'm not a copywriter. What does that mean? What does that mean, be succinct? What do you mean shorter copy? Bro, every day? Do you do it every day now, Donnie?
I have. It's been basically every day. I did 101. Yesterday was 101. Yeah. I don't know how many more I'm going to do.
Well, shouts to you for getting it to 100 of them. Drop your YouTube link in the comments. And seriously, guys, you should join his copywriter groups. He's got 2, and he'll show you which ones are appropriate for you in the comments.
Yeah.
But specifically this YouTube thing that I'm talking about, every day Donnie will come on and go, and it's like a minute. It's like they're like 2 minutes.
It's YouTube Shorts.
Yeah, so 60 seconds max.
60 seconds.
A lot of them are between 20 and 40 seconds. Doesn't matter. The difference between 40 seconds and 60 is not much, but give you a minute.
Yeah, I'll say 2 things. YouTube Shorts. Go subscribe to Donnie's YouTube channel. Number 2, consider joining his email list and signing up for his email Inbox X Factor curriculum. And of course, I'm a part of it. I joined it, and we use those strategies in our emails today.
100%.
And also, I know Mike Reynolds, as an example, has become a student of Donnie's, has gotten deals because of his emails. And I think, just in general, when I just had a conversation with someone yesterday, they were talking about, well, what are the strategies we should use? And how do you just come up with a solid strategy that you could depend on getting 4 or 5 deals a month, or just at least consistent deals? And you got to find that one strategy for you. Well, one thing that I've always tried to do is do what everyone's not doing.
Right.
I mean, if everybody, here's the thing, texting's not dead, cold calling's not dead, email's not dead. None of these channels are dead.
Not at all.
The question I ask is it saturated right now? Is everybody and their mom cold calling? And if that's the case, then I'm going to try something different, because really in marketing, the whole point is you need to stand out. You need to stand out.
Yeah.
So how do you make your advertising and your messaging stand out? And so I always appreciate the gems that come from the billionaire.
On that note, because I think you're exactly correct. Being in a place where nobody else is gives you a huge advantage. Just you showing up differently. You're a different kind of professional, and for that reason, direct mail is also not dead.
Direct mail will never be dead.
Not at all.
And it's just expensive. It's just price prohibitive for a lot of folks.
Correct.
But we've got a lot of people sending postcards who are getting great deals. I mean, we have it in our app. If you want to send a postcard, just without thinking about it, you can send a postcard at the push of a button. Because I don't know how many times I walk by a property and I'm like, man, I need to advertise to them, and I know that I'm not going to get home and do it. I just open up the app and press send and send a postcard.
All right, that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, and that's cheaper than, say, probably the direct mail that you're doing, where you're sending, the beautiful envelopes with something chunky inside, so they can be like, well, what's inside this thing?
Exactly. That's what I was going to say, though. That's why I said it's kind of weird. I know it's cost prohibitive, but in terms of if you want to play with the big boys, I don't mean this to because I know the budget is a budget, but sometimes the goal is not to have the cheapest leads possible. It's to have leads where guess what? The other wholesalers in your neighborhood can't compete with you, because they're not showing up with the FedEx package. FedEx is a lot, but if they're not showing up, you can get a regular envelope and just put a little something in there. Lego man, don't put a Lego man, but
right. So hold on, can we?
Yeah, we're gonna get back to that, because that's a excellent
as a
point.
whole.
Yeah, and I want to come back to that, like spending more for leads.
Yeah. All right. I'm setting up because we got another brilliant guest we got to get to. I'm a hush for now.
but hang around though. I told you we
don't go anywhere.
We value stuffing today. We're value stuffing today. We took a week off, so we feel like we got to over deliver, right?
And yeah, we got to talk about copy AI too.
We got copy AI, all of that. We're gonna do all of that. So
we haven't even gotten to the news, man, and we're 40 minutes in, Vince.
Look at your text message. I'm over there blowing you up, like, bro. We got
stop talking. Okay,
we have a lot to do. Bro.
I'm done. Sorry.
So, all right, so let's do this, Donnie. Don't go nowhere, seriously, because we want to come back to you and talk about cost per lead. We want to talk about AI. Are they going to really challenge, the best copywriter in the gap? We're going to talk about all of that. So don't go anywhere. But in the meantime, we do have another guest that we are very, very excited to have on with us today. Maybe you've heard of them. Do you know? Justin, have you heard of the Polites? I think is their name. Did you?
Huh? What?
Do you know
the
this
celebrities?
Yes, the very same.
I saw them on TV.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
What's up, guys? Oh, I like that. Got the crowd roaring.
One time.
Yeah.
One time for Dedrick and Crystal Polite of A&E fame.
Hey, guys. Hey,
what's
family.
good?
What's good? Congratulations.
Thank you.
Man, it's so good to see you guys doing so well.
Absolutely.
Appreciate y'all, man. We're excited to be on. Y'all like brothers to us.
Right. Hey, family.
So we're
What's up, family?
No doubt. We are thrilled for you and yet not at all surprised.
No.
Like, didn't you see this, Justin? You saw this coming, right?
Writing was on the wall. Writing was on the wall.
So clearly.
Y'all seen it.
She's like, I had my doubts. I can dig it. No, seriously though, seen it coming a long time. You guys work incredibly hard.
Mm-hmm.
Frankly, had already been
and
successful. Incredibly smart. Had a track record of success, right? So all the check marks were there. So we're not surprised at all, but we are thrilled all the same. I want to do a couple of things. Number one, I do want to hear a little bit about the TV show and just kind of, in fact, let's maybe start there. For folks who haven't seen the show 50/50 Flips, can you just talk a little bit about this new deal that you guys struck? You got an episode coming out tomorrow. I think it's episode 3. Just tell them what this newest endeavor is for you guys, this new show.
Yeah, so Dedrick, Crystal Polite, of course, 50/50 Flip is our new TV show. It's on A&E. It's a home renovation show, but they not only follow our flipping business, they also follow our life, our kids, all that. So the whole concept is we flip houses in 50 days or less for $50,000 or less in renovation costs. And really our goal was to show people that the average person can indeed flip houses. We started out wholesaling 4 years ago. And we've not only flipped a lot of houses, we built a multi-million-dollar rental portfolio. So we really wanted to show it's attainable for the average person, especially people who look like us and come from our backgrounds.
Right.
I love it.
So wait a minute. You started wholesaling.
Right.
Started flipping.
It all started wholesale.
Built $1 million portfolio.
Multi, don't short them.
Multi-million-dollar portfolio. Got a TV show.
Talk about it.
God is good.
In
Won't he do it?
4 years?
4 years.
We've been grinding.
Come on.
4 years. And you guys know because, we've been all rocking together 4 years, right? I remember.
That's it.
Yeah, literally.
2018.
So
we live 2019.
Yeah.
That's right. We at first we live. Yeah, it's incredible, man. It's incredible to watch the growth. Can you do just another thing for me real quick? I want to talk more about you guys and your actual business. I don't want to be like the TV guy, but I was struck by something in the show that I do just want to make sure that you double tap on here. You talked a lot about, at least in that first episode, the fact that, this area where you're doing your projects has special significance to your family. Can you just talk about how this is a full circle moment, beyond just, going from wholesaling to now owning property, but in a much bigger historical context? Can you talk about the full circleness of what you guys are doing and where you're doing it?
Yeah, so we're in a town called Burlington, North Carolina, which is 20 minutes from Greensboro, 30 minutes from Raleigh, Durham. It's actually where Crystal's parents are from. And a lot of the properties we buy, flip, and hold are in this area. And this has a special significance to Crystal because it's where her mom grew up. This one particular street we highlighted in the episode where we bought land on this street. We're developing land. We bought a property, remodeled it, turned it into an Airbnb. So we're really focused on not only flipping houses, but keeping rentals and building up this particular community. You want to add to that?
Right. So in this area, this is where I'm actually originally from Burlington. My mom moved in '89 to Boston, so I was raised in Boston. But this area has huge significance because my dad is from Burlington. My mom is from Mebane. This area is where my mother's side came to settle after slavery. So this entire area was nothing at one point but my family. And it's the last area in this town to be what they call gentrified, right? So I told my husband, I was like, listen, we have to get in here and buy up as much of this, as many properties and land as possible.
Buy back the block.
So we can really create the narrative of our people and keep the character of the neighborhood. This is a neighborhood where everyone was typically family. But everyone knows everyone. So I said, otherwise we're going to have Raleigh and Durham developers who are coming in like strong and they're trying to buy up and then build these big
no regard for the history and the character of the neighborhood. At
all. So that's why it was so huge for me to say, hey, listen, we got to get into this neighborhood. And just as of yesterday, my husband, this land that we've wanted for 5 years, you've been talking to the seller. Just yesterday, the seller called him back, and it is probably about how many acres?
10 acres.
10 acres behind our house and some other land that we own. Been trying to negotiate 5 years. He's been cultivating this relationship, and he was like, "Hey, listen, yeah, I'll sell it to you guys." Wow. And it was what
we're going to develop that land.
We're going to develop it. Part of it's going to be houses we're going to sell, and then we're going to take that profits and roll it over to us building apartment buildings that we can keep and townhouses that we can keep.
Wow.
Love it, yo. Man, listen, if you guys are in the audience, I told you guys a couple of weeks ago we were going to try to get the Polites on, and we were able to make it happen through, a lot of coordination. They're very, very busy, especially these days. So I didn't give a bunch of buildup, but you're here and you're seeing them now. If there are people in your network that would benefit from hearing this story, if this testimony that you just heard from Deahtrow and Crystal touched you, tag some people. It's increasingly difficult to get a hold of the Polites. Let me just tell you. That's my family, and I'm telling you, it's hard to get in touch. Okay,
yeah.
So
hold
on. But hold on. Hop in the comments, please. Tag 2 people. So if you are watching this and you want some other folk to benefit from the gems that they have already dropped and that they're about to, tag 2 people, hop in the comments, and have them join and watch the rest of this show with us.
I told Vince, and I'll tell you. So Vince and I have been going back and forth for like weeks on trying to get on. And our schedule is crazy right now. It is like every day is bananas. But I was like, hey, listen, we got to... he was like, yo, what about next Friday? I said, okay, we do have a meeting with the network Friday, but let me know what time. And then I'm thinking Eastern time. He was, what were you on, Vince? What are you on?
I'm Eastern, yeah.
Eastern, but the time, I was an hour ahead. And Vincent told me yesterday, he was like, no, it's 1. I'm like, oh my God.
I know.
I said, okay, crap. And then it turned out we were meeting with the mayor of this other town, which we had no idea. Just now. So I was like, yo, listen, what time is it? Okay. So I literally rushed this mayor to hurry up. That's why you saw us in the car. Our way here. I was like, okay,
mayor, hold up.
We got a hard stop.
Let's go.
That's what's up.
I was like, Deahtrow was like, yeah, I'm so sorry. We got to wrap this up. But we literally got on 1:30. So.
That's what's up. We got to be on office hours.
Sorry, Mr. Mayor.
Or Mrs. Mayor.
Right.
Hey, Alicia. My girl.
No doubt. What was you going to say, Jess? You were going to ask a question?
Well, no, I just was saying there was so much in what they said in terms of, legacy and what it means to their family. And man, it just shows having a purpose, right? Like just a purpose from day one. A lot of people look for a quick pill to success, but like I just see drive and purpose. And you guys are realizing, this plan that you set, before yourselves years ago. And now it's just proof that you really care about restoring this neighborhood. You care about the character. You care about the history. It's not just dollars.
Right.
I mean, let's make some money, but man, let's have a real purpose and a mission to what we're doing. Absolutely. And man, I love that. That's so great.
Yeah, for us, it's about impact. It's about building generational wealth. My wife always says, like, if once we leave here, if we only affected one generation, we haven't done our job.
Yeah, we failed our kids. If only they could eat off of our work, then we've literally failed them.
That's right. That's right. So listen, for the time that we do have with you, can I just go through a couple of quick things? I'd love for you guys to share, again, how much can we really talk about this whirlwind 4 years that you've had? But I just want to hit some of the major points. Okay, beautiful. So when did you and when do you suggest that people make this switch from wholesaling to holding? Because I remember hearing you talk a while back in some of your content. I started to hear more of a shift where you were like, for every so many houses we do, we're going to keep some. Was that a conscious switch? And how do you advise other people to think about that transition?
Right. So in full transparency, when we first sat down to talk about getting into real estate, our first meeting about, hey, what are our goals in real estate? The first goal was to buy and hold and build a multi-million-dollar portfolio. So with doing that, we said, how can we do that?
And we didn't have a lot
of limited
money
funds.
Starting out.
Right?
We weren't broke, but we didn't have a ton of money.
Right. Because, people say, oh, you got to have millions to get into real estate. So my Deahtrow was like, hey, listen, we can do what's called wholesaling. And that can raise the capital for us to be able to take down these properties. And so
she didn't even know what wholesaling was.
No
she watched
idea.
A couple videos on YouTube and she was like, let's do it.
Let's do it. That was it. But from the very beginning, we said our goal was to buy and hold. It was never to just wholesale because, wholesaling is a job, right?
Yeah.
And
it's a high-paying job.
It's a high-paying job, but it's another job. And we already had 2 jobs.
Talk about it.
So we weren't trying to add a third one. So we said, listen, let's utilize this to do what we want to do, which is buy and hold property. So that's literally what we did from day one. Our very first 2 wholesale deals, we took that money and rolled it over to buying and holding.
So can you also address, because you said you didn't want a third job, and there's a lot of people who have full-time jobs. I just was talking to someone yesterday. He's like, man, I got my full-time job. How did you all find the time to scale your business having full-time jobs in the beginning?
So, right. What we did was
we had full-time jobs.
Yep.
We also had 2 kids.
And we owned a franchise in 2 locations. So we
sold that.
Yeah.
Once we decided to go into real estate.
No, that was like after we decided. We still had it. And my husband was like, yo, let's get in this real estate thing. So when we decided to sell it, it was like, yo, let's take the money from this sale and then just roll it over into real estate. So we were still doing real estate and educating ourselves and going to seminars and courses and hiring coaches.
Paying for mentorship.
Trying to do marketing.
Before we close one deal, we're spending all this money. We put a lot of it on credit cards. Yeah. And, I'm real hawkish about my credit. So I'm like, look, I got an 800 credit score. This wholesale and this real estate thing got to work. It's not like it can't not work because I got to pay back these credit cards. We putting all this education expense on.
Right. So what?
Hey, y'all peep the humble flex over there. my man said I had an 800 credit score.
Listen, Vince, on our first date, we got them credit scores out the way. Matter of fact, he said, on our first date, I was like, so what's your credit score? He was like 8. It was like an 810.
He didn't even flinch.
No,
he was like 800.
He was like, well, what's yours? And I said like 600. But look,
he said, don't worry about mine.
Both can't have bad credit. I said, I'm restoring mine. I can't restore yours too. See, look, my mother didn't raise no fool. So I knew we both couldn't be in the same boat. But when we first got started, he was full-time, I was full-time. We had full-time jobs. We had 2 kids and a franchise that we were running. So what we really decided was with our
we were doing nights and weekends.
We were doing nights and weekends, driving for dollars. But what we were really doing is we said, okay, hey, listen, what is the sheet that we had ended up creating? We divvied up the roles in our wholesale business. And Deahtrow was like, okay, I'm going to take this. In the beginning, he was doing marketing, all the stuff that I didn't want to do, acquisitions. And I was trying to see what roles I liked in the business. So then I was doing pretty much all management, administrative. I was looking for deals. I was still trying to procure a lot of the properties. And then we was like, okay, listen, we got to get a little bit more organized. And we said, hey, listen, I'm going in full time. This is what we have to do. For an entire year before I went into the business full time, we put a plan in together to transition me. So the plan was each quarter we were going to bank a portion of my paycheck.
So that we could eventually live off of one salary. My salary was I was making well over 6 figures. So we like have her go full time first, keep my salary strategically so that we can acquire real properties by going to the bank and saying, hey, I got a nice W-2 income. Give me a loan for this rental. So we did it strategically. The first quarter, we saved 25% of her salary, lived off 75% of hers and 100% of mine. The second quarter is 50%. The third quarter, 35%. So we just ramped that slowly until
we were literally living off of one income. We really didn't have to sacrifice our lifestyle or anything.
And we always tell people, don't quit your day job, especially after you just close 1 or 2 wholesale deals.
Amen.
Quit your day job.
Because
wholesaling's up and down. But
for real. So that's literally how we did it. And the moment I took on the role of going in full time, I said, okay, he's still working. So he can't have the biggest part of our business, which is marketing.
Sure.
He can't still be over marketing and still have a full-time job. That's too much on his shoulders. So I said, I'll take over marketing.
Notice what she said, though. You said the biggest part of our business, which is marketing.
So her job was to generate the motivated seller leads. And then once I got off my 9 to 5 in the evenings, I would call the sellers and I was doing the acquisitions and locking up the properties.
Right. Well, I was doing all the pre-work, generating them, qualifying them,
sending out mailers,
and then sending them over to him. And then I really had to say, okay, because I had a fear of cold calling. So I said, okay, I got to figure this out. I got to get over this because I wanted to make sure too much wasn't on his shoulders, right? Especially with him still having the 9 to 5. So I said, I still got to contribute more. Let me get into this cold calling. So I literally told everybody to leave the house and I started cold calling.
She didn't want no witnesses when she started cold calling.
I did it.
Which is understandable.
He's super critical.
Cold calling's hard. It's not easy.
Right. So when I did it, I was sweating. My arms were itching. I was like, oh my God, I'm about to do this. I was all like this. He had to leave. Kids had to leave. And once I did it, my very first cold call resulted in a deal.
Wow.
My third one resulted in a deal as well. But that gave me that confidence. Now, does that always happen? No. But it gave me the confidence to be like, oh, shoot, okay, I can talk to sellers. It is what it is. My fear was of the unknown. What if they ask me a question I don't know? And then Deahtrow said, listen, if they ask you a question you don't know, just say, hey, listen, great question. My partner typically handles that. So I don't want to give you the wrong answer. Let me just get with my partner, make sure I give you the right answer, and then I'll get right back to you. Once he said that, I was like, huge. Oh, okay, off to the races.
Yeah, such a great point.
Everybody wrote that down.
I literally was going to say is I hope folks have pen and paper out. Like that's something practical, tactical you should be putting in your business right now. Actually, several things that they just said. Number one, how they were strategic about divvying up, household expenses and said, okay, look, we can wean ourselves off of this 2 income. And here's how we're going to do it quarter over quarter over quarter. That's a bar. In terms of getting over that fear of cold calling, you know, do what you gotta do, number one. But Deahtrow, I think you gave the advice that I got when I was going through sales training, which is actually one of the most powerful things you can say on a sales call is I don't know.
Right. That's what he told me too.
It's the truth. One of the most, you probably got similar training, Deahtrow, right? One of the most powerful things you can do is say, I don't know. Don't dance. Certainly don't lie. Right. Just tell them, I don't know, but I will find out.
Right.
Yep.
That builds trust because there's trust you to say, you know, and make something up. But if you're like, you know what, that's a good question. Let me get back to you. They respect that. And you build trust with the seller.
That's right. Worst month in the business. Talk to us.
Worst month?
Worst month.
I mean,
have you ever had a?
I mean, we've had some rough months. We've never had wholesaling is a beautiful thing,
right?
Because you can really create money out of nothing. I mean, there's been months where we're like, hey, we need quick 20,000, and you close a wholesale deal, cost you maybe $1,000 in marketing, and you brought in 20 grand. You didn't have to close on the house. You didn't have to deal with contractors. You didn't have to rehab anything. So it's a beautiful thing. But again, my main key is use that money and put it into buying income producing assets. I don't care if it's real estate or stocks or whatever, but use that to buy financial freedom, which is what we've done.
But you know, so there's months that we've made nothing in wholesaling, right? When we started out.
Me too. And that's what I'm trying to get to. Like me too. I've had months where I made nothing. Let's keep it a buck for people. Right? I've definitely had those months.
Right. $0 came in the beginning, and until we really developed systems and processes to make sure our marketing kept going out. So everything was automated. So we knew we were generating the leads that we needed, but there was many months that.
So talk about that real quick, because I mean, I think like I literally was just talking to someone yesterday who's new to wholesaling. And I think a lot of new wholesalers have that same question. They're trying to get to a consistent way of saying, I can reasonably predict that even if it's not closed deals, but I'm going to get maybe 5 appointments a month, right? And out of 5, if I can show up, I know I can close maybe 2 of those.
Well, I think the key is having multiple streams of income. Because again, you guys and we all know that wholesaling is up, it's down. It's not predictable at all. If you do the work, you make the contacts and get the appointments, you're giving yourself a better chance, but it's very unpredictable. So that's why we do buy and holds. We also have Airbnbs, another source of income. We also flip, right? We also have other businesses that we own. So you have to have multiple streams. I don't think anyone should it's very difficult to just depend on wholesaling as your only source of income.
Sure.
Yeah. And one of the things that Deahtrow put into place also is knowing exactly how many people he needed to get in front of every day, every week, every month. How many sellers do I need? How many appointments do I need to go on every single day, every single week, and every single month to result to how many deals we need to finance our lifestyle, right? Or to meet our quarterly or monthly or yearly goals, right? So once you know what you need as far as every quarter or every month, then you start from there and you work your way backwards and say, okay, listen, for us, we know with our acquisitions, they need to at least have 4 to 5. They want 4 to 5. How many 4 to 5 contracts going out at least every week? And not meaning I'm talking about 4 to 5 contracts signed. We want signed contracts at least 5 a week minimum. And that's because now we're doing with the flipping, that takes us in a whole nother direction. So before it's like, listen, I need at least 20, I want 10 to 20 appointments a day.
So on the lead generation side then, Crystal, how did you manage that? You know, was there one particular lead source that was more successful than others, or was it being able to leverage multiple lead sources in order to get enough leads to get to that point for the acquisition side?
Great question. It was actually multiple.
Yeah,
so
multiple.
We literally had a conveyor belt going, and it was we tried in the beginning cold calling outright when we first got started.
Still do cold call.
We couldn't master it. We couldn't figure it out. It wasn't working for us for whatever reason. Then we found driving for dollars. That was amazing for us. That worked perfectly for us. But then I noticed, I said, okay, well, we're doing driving for dollars. Send it out direct mail. That taught us how to do direct mail. But from there, I said, okay, you know what? let's start ringless voicemail.
Shout out to RERL.
Then we found you guys, and we started doing ringless voicemail. And I noticed on the same exact list that we were doing our Driving for Dollars list, I put into ringless voicemail. Some of the same people that we had already tried contacting didn't respond to direct mail, but they did to ringless voicemail. So I took that same list from ringless voicemail and put it into text messaging. Those same people didn't respond to the first two methods, but was happy to text us back. What I will tell you that works for us the most in our business today, other than Driving for Dollars and us finding the properties, is text messaging and cold calling. Text messaging is just amazing to me because you're going to get a certain demographic. It's important to know who actually lives in your backyard, right? So for us, we have an older demographic. So between a certain age group, they're not texting because I still got to help my mother text.
Right.
So the older ones are not going to respond to text messaging, but they do respond to our postcards. That 40 to 60, I would say 40 to 60 age group,
they're more likely to
reply to a text. These are the ones who have these inherited properties from their parents and their parents' parents.
Yeah,
they're the ones who's responding to our text messages. And that took me learning. I said, you know what? I can't just blanket everyone with postcards because people respond to different methods.
I got one more for you. A lot of people sleep on for sale by owner.
Yep.
Driving around town, you see a for sale by owner. First of all, that's a free lead. You didn't have to pay anything for that lead. Call them and qualify that lead. In the past 2 months, we've closed like one deal for 11 grand for sale by owner. We just drive the owner. We're about to close. We're wholesaling 8-unit apartment building. The price was retail, otherwise we would have bought it for ourselves, but we're wholesaling to another investor, going to make a $60,000 wholesale fee.
Wow.
Found it from a for sale by owner sign he put in front of the property saying he wanted to sell.
Yep. And
zero marketing costs on that, $0.
Another one is for rent. So literally probably closed 10 deals in the last 6 months off of for rent signs. And that's because if they're looking to rent it, it's either vacant or it's about to be vacant soon. And we all know a lot of landlords don't know they're tired until they get that phone call and you remind them.
That's right. That's right. That's a great point.
The exit of that property.
Right.
So I hope that people are taking from this segment, and again, I hope you got the pens and the paper out. Everybody is not going to respond to everything. That actually ties back to something that Donnie said at the top, right? Yeah. And so that is why it's good to have a full range of things and full disclosure. And also shout out to the Polites. When we launched our tech system, Deahtrow is actually one of the first people that we gave access to it. And, was a beta user. And he was like, bro, this thing is fire. And I remember you saying, I think it was like a year-old list.
Yeah.
That you first, right?
No, it was a 2017 list.
Oh, there you go.
16 list. When it's my very first list that I was pulling, I said, you know what? Let me try these old lists. I put in like 3 of my old lists from like 3 years ago. And we literally got 40, between 44 leads off of this list that was like 4 years old.
Yeah, that's crazy to me. And I remember that vividly, him sending me the text. And, a lot of people would say that list is dead. That list ain't dead. You just haven't hit it with the right channel yet.
Yeah.
And also timing. Maybe when you called them 3 years ago, they weren't ready to sell for whatever reason. COVID has happened. Somebody may have passed away. They maybe lost a job, so their circumstances may have changed. So that timeliness of reaching back out to them, you may catch them at the right time.
Yeah, yeah. I love it, man. So let me ask you one sort of last thing, and going back to the show just for a little bit. We had a guest on right before the holidays, James Rembert, who goes by the Zillow Killer. And he's got this phrase. He says, the most important asset in your business is attention, right? And so I am curious how you got the attention of A&E. Was that something that you were, intentional about and strategic about was, letting people know, hey, we're out here doing this thing. And how has getting attention helped your business? Can you just talk about that a little bit?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, we can both talk about that. We didn't intentionally set out to be on a TV show. I mean, when I was a little kid, I used to dream like, man, it would be cool to be on TV one day, but I never imagined we would have our own national television show. But I mean, we documented our process. We documented our journey. Someone told us to do that early on, and we were just silly enough to believe them and start documenting from zero to where we are now. And over time, we built a following through Facebook posts, so Instagram, YouTube, of people following us because we were teaching them as we were learning what we were doing. And that caught the attention of the television networks. And A&E wasn't the first network to reach out to us.
Right.
Actually, several of the other big networks have reached out over the years, and we had said, no, we're not interested because our kids were really young and we just had a lot going on. We weren't ready for it at that point. But then the timing was right this time when they reached out, and it was actually the network instead of a third-party casting agency. And we ended up saying, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, and how it's definitely helped our business is we are literally inundated with leads at this point.
Some great
with people who have seen the show and was like, hey, I seen you guys' show, and it's amazing. I love it. I love what you guys are doing. I love the message behind it. I love the teaching. Hey, listen, I have a house that I'm looking to get rid of. I no longer want, and I would love to see if you guys would like to buy it from me.
One guy with a 7-house portfolio.
That's the next level of the game, yo.
Listen, one seller called in and was like, hey, listen, turned out we didn't know at the time he is a state senator for because he just said, hey, listen, I'm a broker. Me and my wife caught your show when we were at our beach house. He was like, and I seen it, and I was like, oh man, I know them. I've seen them before. I know them. And he was like, oh my God, I can't believe it's them. And he said, listen, I'm a broker. I've been doing this 25 years, 30 years. He was like, so I know I can sell these houses myself. He said, but I love what they are doing and they can come. I would love to give them all of my houses. He was like, listen, I don't want to be a landlord anymore. Don't care about these houses, but I do love what they are doing. And I love what's behind them and the motivation behind the show. He was like, I love all of it. Tell them to give me a call. I will send them over all the information on my entire portfolio of my families, and they can have every single one of them if they want them.
Wow.
I mean, Justin, I think
that's the next level of the game.
Oh, that's next level of the game. I think that the Polites have earned. Should we hit them with have they, do you think?
Can we drop a bomb? Can we get the flex?
You're going to get more than the bomb.
No, you get more than the bomb.
You get more than the bomb.
You get more than the bomb.
You get,
what do they get?
You get goat talk.
There we go. The goats. Goat status. Okay. That's verified right there.
Yeah. Goat
Let's
talk.
go talk.
Goat talk right there.
Y'all officially made it. Y'all goat talk out here. Man, listen.
I love it.
We love y'all. We are so happy for you. We are rooting for you. We got your back. Listen, whatever you need, we're here for you. And we appreciate you gracing the audience with some of these gems. So I hope that people were listening. I hope that you tagged your friends and brought them in here, because this right here, this is hard to get. Yeah, it's hard to get.
Anytime, guys. Anytime. You guys are literally like family to us. And, I hit Vince all the time, like, yo, I need your help on something. Yo, what's up? Da-da-da-da.
Sure.
So we stay in communication. So you guys know anything you need, we got you.
Yeah.
We appreciate you. We appreciate you. Yeah. So listen, tomorrow,
happy for y'all.
Super happy for you guys. Tomorrow at noon, yeah?
Yep, Saturday at 12 noon Eastern. 50/50 Flip airs. This is episode 3. It's 3 more, total 6 episodes. Again, we're not only flipping houses, we're also showing buy and hold as well.
Yep.
We do a bird deal. You don't see this on a regular flipping show.
You see our short-term rental business Airbnb. And how we do it. So it's more so showing the dynamics. For us, it was very big. We told them we're not flippers and we're not going to be the 100th flipping show. So that what we ain't going to do.
So we different.
Is be that, right? So for us, we had to control our narrative. And we told them, listen, this is how we come on board. This is the only way we're going to do it. And it was to be able to showcase the stuff that they don't find sexy, which is the education. Yeah. They don't care about the education piece. We said, we're not going to teach people how to flip, because that's not building generational wealth. That's actually giving it away. But we will teach people how to buy and hold. So like, oh, okay. But then once they saw it, they were blown away. Like, oh shoot, okay. And they saw
no one's ever shown this on TV.
The numbers before and saw how effective and it was and what we were really doing it for. They absolutely loved it. But we said we're not going to teach people how to just flip to make some money, but not show them how to really take that money and invest it in what can really create long-term wealth. So that's really the premise behind the show, is us showing people how to not just sell these properties, including wholesale. So you'll see us doing some wholesale deals as well, but how to hold on to it to create really long-term wealth.
I love it. I love it. Y'all, tomorrow, noon Eastern, every
Get your
Saturday.
family, get your popcorn out.
DVR it if you're not there. So
it's on Hulu. You can go on there on demand. Yes, sir.
All of the above. We'll be there. We will definitely have REI Rail Nation watching in force. And any other updates, feel free to come back. We love you guys. Appreciate you.
Thanks, love you guys.
All right, y'all.
Man, that's awesome.
How dope is that, bro?
Man, that's awesome. I don't know. We're going to have time to get in the news or nothing today.
We might not, bro. I knew we had.
Back.
Let's bring Donnie back. Let's wrap up. Let's just talk about what we just all witnessed.
I had so many questions too, but I knew we didn't have time to ask. Like,
I know.
They dropped the FSBO thing, and I wanted to be like, well, how are y'all, are you negotiating those deals below the FSBO price? They talked about the tired landlords. I want to be like, well, how you open up that conversation? Yeah. So many questions. Man, we got to bring them back and get more tactical, practical, as my brother says.
Absolutely. My man, Alan Murray said we have part 2 for sure. We're going to have a part 2, bro.
Yeah.
And of course, you know what? You know who is always drawing? Did I say it right? Alicia, here she go. We have time. You know what? You be putting so much pressure on me, Alicia.
We got a lot of news that we haven't even got to. We didn't even do housekeeping.
We ain't do housekeeping. We ain't do
We
news.
don't really need to do housekeeping today, but man, we got some news, boy.
Let's at least tee up a little bit of news. Let me just go back to the police one more real quick. That bar about how to do the planning when you're doing this as a couple, as a unit.
Yeah.
Goat talk.
Let's go
talk, man.
Let's go talk.
Let's go talk, bro. Wow. Oh no, man. What you
4
think?
years.
Bruh, here's the thing. They started using REI Rail literally months after we launched. So we launched summer 2018. Saw them at We Live. Mm-hmm. They started using it. They started rocking and rolling. When did we release texting? In top of 2020,
2 years ago.
Yeah,
year and a half, maybe a little bit.
I'm like 2 years. I'm like, yo, we're about to release texting platform. Can y'all check it out? Be a beta user. They're like, cool. And just like I was telling during the interview, he put in some old lists, start cranking out the leads. They ramp up their use. And little did we know that they were, I guess I did know, but I didn't foresee this. Like I saw their usage ramp up and I saw their activity ramping and I knew that they were rocking and rolling, but man, 4 years, bro. And they got a national TV show.
Yeah.
Listen, they need to do a testimonial for y'all. That's it. Hey, we're on the set of 50/50 Flip, and we just wanted to drop just a quick testimonial for REI Rail. Boom. That's beautiful.
I mean, that's family, man. They and you know what, man?
That's a squad.
Yeah, they were instrumental in our text platform from the beginning.
They really were.
They were the first to really use it. They were the first to really give us feedback that we built into it. Man, it's just, but like their success is because of just how deliberate they are.
Yeah.
And what I heard through that whole conversation is planning. Like they understood the destination from the beginning. Yeah. And so when you understand the destination, then you can reverse engineer, like even down to, I know how many conversations I got to have this week. I know how many contracts we need to put out in order to maintain our standard of living. Therefore, I know how many leads we need to generate. I know how many conversations we need to have. I know how many texts I need to send out. They back engineered all of that. And that really is the premise of marketing, right?
Yeah, that's
like real. You kind of bringing it back to what we were talking about before. with open rates and everything else, when we were talking with Donnie, like, Donnie, I'm sure when you're with your clients, like, you take the same strategy. Like, we know 1% of our audience is going to open the email, and of that, X percent is actually going to buy. Therefore, we need to send out X many of emails and generate this many clicks.
Yeah, no, I think that conversation was definitely Go Talk, right? Because they're doing at a individual level what many organizations are doing. They have staff of 150, 200 people or whatever. But they're figuring it out organically. I was blown away. I wish I hadn't talked. Like, I wish they had my section because I wanted to hear more of that conversation. It was phenomenal.
Phenomenal, man. Phenomenal.
So now I gotta learn how to dance and get married.
only if you want that level.
And look, Alicia, I think you rubbing off on Carisha because now she putting pressure on too. Here she talking about you got a lot of part 2s to do in 2022. It's like,
we do got a lot of part 2s.
I'm not sure I like all this pressure y'all are putting on us. But no, she's right. We got a few people we need to bring back. Just so you know, Crypto Justin is going to be joining us next Friday.
Justin coming back.
Crypto Justin coming back. Excited for that.
I know the Gorilla CEO said he had some crypto talk that he wanted to talk about. But hey, maybe if you save that for next week, we got Crypto Justin on. That'd be great.
Exactly. That'll be perfect. And I think that he and Carisha may actually be working on something together. So stand by for Crypto Justin next week. We will definitely have to have the Polites back for a part 2. We did have a bunch of really good news articles. I mean, let's maybe tee up the news. There's one sort of through line. You want to talk about?
Do we blaze through it?
You want to blaze through it real quick?
All right, let's blaze through it. Guys, are you going to?
I mean, if we're going to do it, we might as well. You want to just?
What are we going to do?
I mean, I think it's customary, so I think that we should talk about the news. Is it time?
Is it? Let's do it. Let's go. Let's do it. All right. Yeah.
Let's just blaze through it real quick. Let's
blaze through it. All right. Let me share my screen. I'm just going to share my whole. Maybe I should just share my whole window, or do I just do?
You want that one?
Oops, sorry guys. Hold up.
Oh no, that was me, I think.
Okay, I'm sharing. I'm going to share the whole screen. There we go. Oops. How's that?
Perfect.
All right. So, Open Door heads to pricey markets. And what we did was we actually went through and we kind of highlight some of this stuff and so that we can just kind of go through what the highlights are. Oh no, wrong one. Sorry, Vince. We're supposed to be here first.
Yeah, let's do that one. Yeah.
All right, let's do the NFTs. All right, guys, look, a Florida home is going to be auctioned as an NFT. It's attracted more than 7,000 potential bidders. So let's go through some of the highlights real quick. All right, so this is in Gulfport, Florida. The house started at $650,000, and this is through that company that we told you before, Proppy. You guys heard us talk about Proppy and how they're really trying to generate this interest and the future of how homes will be bought and sold. And here's what I saw, and what we saw is interesting. More than 7,000 people have signed up to bid on this home. Now, who owns the home? Leslie Alessandra. Now, listen, she actually is the founder of Proppy. She's the one who's actually selling her home, right? And
I didn't realize that. Okay.
Yeah, she's the one who's actually selling her home. Now, listen, out of this, they're not even able to return all the phone calls because they've generated so much interest.
Good grief.
They've generated so much interest. Now, here you have the president of this company, the founder, and in order to really bring more traction to this idea, she decided, I'm going to sell my own home this way. Generated 7,000 calls. Okay, so the address is 6315 11th Avenue, South Street, or South Avenue in Gulfport. You can go look that up. I actually got the posting from Realtor.com here. And one of the things that they said about NFTs, 44 billion. People have spent $44 billion buying and selling NFTs in 2021. In 2021. All right. Now, in order to bid on this home, you have to have a MetaMask cryptocurrency wallet that has more than $650,000 in Ether.
Good grief.
Now,
And there's that many people that are bidding?
There must be.
Good grief.
They got 650 grand in Ether sitting in their MetaMask. And let's talk about MetaMask.
Let's talk about MetaMask.
I mean, do we need to invest in them?
I mean, we kind of need to, because they're becoming the default sort of gateway's not the right word, but you know what I'm saying? Like, people, when you read these articles now, people default to it. They've started talking about MetaMask the way they talk about Google, right? You Google a thing, like
you guys see the little wolf at the top of my.
You see that little wolf? Yeah, the wolf is up. I have it up
at the top of my browser.
Yeah,
I got MetaMask. So proponents of merging NFTs and real estate have said the combination could reduce closing costs and speed up transactions. And so here's a picture of the property, Vince. It's a nice property. I mean, it's small, but we know $650,000 for this smaller home.
Yeah,
it'll probably get bid way up. It's a 5-bedroom, 3. It looks small, but it's got 5 bedrooms.
Okay, so
5-bedroom, 3.5 bath. It's 2,100 square feet, 7,400 square foot lot.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, I got some questions. Like, what can we learn from Leslie Alessandra about building buzz around our own ideas as entrepreneurs? Right? Is it genius? Is it whack what she did? What industries do we see resulting from NFT transactions like these? To your point about the 650, are there that many people running around with a MetaMask wallet of 650 grand? Or do we see crypto lending, as an industry that's going to continue to grow? What about NFT real estate brokerages? And guys, is this the future of buying and selling homes?
Yeah.
How is this going to evolve over the next 5 to 10 years?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and we literally could do, half a show or half a segment on just that, but it was so striking that we wanted to put this in the roundup for this week. The other stories we'll hold for next week, but this one, like, it's official. Like, the tire has officially hit the road. Wouldn't you say? I mean, like, we're there. We're definitely there.
We're definitely there.
So things for folks to be checking out: Proppy, MetaMask. You gotta figure out MetaMask. It's becoming the default gateway to get on and actually, participate in these NFT deals. What else is sort of actionable stuff that we can give people? What do you think?
I mean, I think just being more knowledgeable on just the whole direction of the crypto space, which we've been bringing a lot of that in. We got Crypto Justin coming next week. Mm-hmm. And people not just getting knowledgeable on just crypto itself, but all these offshoots of crypto, like they build like smart contracts, which now have kind of led to this whole non-fungible token craze that's going on, how people are using NFTs to buy and sell unique items. And why is that compelling?
Yeah.
What's compelling about selling a home through an NFT? What makes it an idea that could scale 20 to 30 years from now, and something that investors really need to be focused on? So just, I think having that knowledge of where crypto is going, which we're going to, continue to do to educate you all on this, not just philosophically, but also, practically, technically, tactically, how to take advantage of some of these ideas and the direction of the market.
And what's going to be really interesting, and this will be great. And again, Donnie, if you can join us, because I see a tie-in here, and I know we're at time, but like the reason a lot of these NFT projects have taken off is because they wrote a good story around it, right? And not so much the real estate ones per se, but like the Bored Ape. If you guys are hip to any of these big art projects, the Bored Ape Yacht Club, or Creeps is a new one that's out, or Women of the World, I think, is one. And they create these entire worlds. It's still just a JPEG, right? I mean, if we're keeping it a buck, it's still just a JPEG. But they have built these worlds, told a story, right? Created all these characters. I think the Bored Ape has like 700 different characteristics, and Creeps has like 1,000 characteristics to it. And people buy into the story. Like, they can never display that NFT anywhere. It's on their phone. And so it just feels like it's all coming together, Donnie. So I'd be curious to, maybe let's just double tap on that a little bit when we do this next deep dive into crypto.
Yeah.
Share one more site with you. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Donnie.
The story, but also, like we mentioned before, this just kind of a trending like in the direction things are trending, a hot trend or something like that. People are excited to be participants in the cutting edge. So that's part of it too.
That's a great point. Yeah. People are excited to be part of the story.
Now, listen, this is an interesting comment. I'm guessing from Eddie. I can't wait until Stuart Title or one of the big boys puts Title on a blockchain.
Listen.
And now, listen, I've had a whole, I think I've talked about it on this show.
Of course we have. Yeah, that's like the one sort of natural fit for blockchain.
The one natural fit, and one of the reasons that I believe that, what it's going to take for it to get done. My views on this haven't changed in 3 years. I mean, we were talking about this 3+ years ago. And it will be hard for one company to be able to do it unless the federal government jumps in and they create a national blockchain for it. And or I think one of the reasons that the side chains are so exciting, because they focus on interoperability between the different blockchains, that there could be, say, one protocol that we use to store properties on the blockchain that all local title companies in your local markets can use and follow. And then maybe it becomes more of like a network of blockchains that, where you can buy and sell property, transfer even from one blockchain to the other via an NFT. Now, if none of that makes sense to you, what I just said, keep watching. Because you'll be able to dissect that and understand it deeply you watch this show.
That's right.
Can I share one more website, Vince?
Sure, of course, yeah.
All right, I'm just going to share one more. This is a website all of y'all need to go to as soon as you jump.
Eddie, for the record, that to me is the holy grail. If somebody cracks that, man, that's $1 trillion undertaking. But it's the one natural fix, right? Pain point that blockchain can fix.
All right, look, hey, y'all need to go to this website. Send more emails and make more money in less time. You heard the polites. What did they say? They said that they had a conveyor belt. They said that they used every marketing channel that they could, especially the ones, and we've talked to them deeply about this behind the scenes, right? Like they focused on direct mail via Driving for Dollars, but they also did text. They did everything. And they really focused on the ones where they could get outreach, where people typically are known to respond based on their demographics. We know that certain age groups will, like they said, respond to a text message before they'll respond to, say, an RVM, and vice versa. Or a cold call. They won't necessarily answer a cold call, but they'll respond to, say, an email. So you got to do all these things. But no matter what, your messaging has to be effective. You have to know what to say and how to talk and the points to bring out the how to really sell your solution in the context of their need.
Right.
Okay? It's not just I'm writing to you to tell you how great I am. It's I understand your problem. That's how you build trust. When you lead with that, I understand your problem. Let me show you. Let me tell you I understand your problem. And oh, by the way, not at the forefront. Oh, by the way, I have a solution. Right? And these are the strategies. And then how do you stand out? These are the strategies that you learn when you sit under the intergalactic funnel man. Also known as Donnie Bryant. Send more emails, make more money in less time. Inboxxfactor.com. That's 2 X's. And you better get on that website today.
I just set my dog off. Now he
look at him. Look at Donnie right there.
Look at him. There he is. Look at that.
How official he look, man. Look at that. That's the intergalactic funnel man right there. Put an F on his chest.
I love it.
So look, y'all. Tire is real right there.
Nah, brother. You're like a rich
that
person.
I slapped that. I'm so embarrassed by the website. I haven't spent any time thinking about it. It's very generic. You don't have to pay too much attention to it, but the benefit is what the headline says. I know a lot of people have a hard time coming up with it. They tell me all the time, I don't know what to say in my emails. I don't know what to write, so they don't send anything. So that's the solution that we meaning me have decided to bring is I'm going to tell you what to write every day, and then I got some trainings in there that also help you to write better. So that's the plan. I appreciate you saying that. You,
man.
You surprised me.
Yeah, guys, go there. Inboxxfactor.com.
Do that. So listen, guys, I hope that we have made up for the missed week. Like I said, we wanted to just sort of value stuff today, right? Just over deliver. And I hope that we have. I certainly feel like that. I got a lot out of, I always get a lot out of talking to Donnie, but really was excited to hear from the Polites, fresh off of their premiere just a couple of weeks ago. So I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Hope you got something that you can take and put into action. I don't know about you, but it's beautiful outside here.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like
we had 10 inches of snow. Now it's down to like 4 inches here in Chicago.
Oh,
so.
that's nice.
Yeah, man. So if you got good weather,
that's summertime.
Take
for
advantage
y'all.
of it. Yeah, that feels, bro. It's gonna be 60 degrees here. So if you're gonna get outside, do it. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy this little respite that we're having. But no matter what, don't punt on the weekends. Do something to move your business forward. Go rewatch this show.
Yeah. Listen, like the Gorilla CEO says, get off your butt cake.
Get off your butt cake.
Get off your butt cake.
Get off your butt cake. Go do
He's
something.
Going to trademark that soon. Get some T-shirts out. I hope so.
As he should. So yeah, listen, guys, we had a bunch of stuff we didn't even get to.
Yep. Watch 50-50 flips.
So watch 50-50 flips tomorrow.
Get some popcorn. Invite your family.
Invite your family. Make it a family affair. Let's show up, REI Rail Nation, to support the Polites. What else? Happy Valentine's Day. When is that? Is that Monday?
Oh, that's man.
3 days from now. Whatever.
That's 3 days. You got me all nervous. I need to hurry up.
Right. So, what else? Watch the Polites. Happy Valentine's Day. Come back next week because we're gonna get to those stories that we didn't get to today. And I think that's all I got. What else, Jeff?
That's it, man. Love y'all.
Love y'all,
As
man.
always,
Be good.
Love y'all.
I took it way back, right?
No, that's right where it needs to be.
Come on, man. That's good music, bro. Just give me one chorus, y'all. Y'all know what it is. Let me finish this chorus and we can do it. Name the lead singer. I'll give you 100 free skips. That. Okay, that's all I needed. All right, y'all. We love you. Be good. Next week. Peace.
Peace, y'all.